Hey everyone, Ariel Adams with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of our upcoming videos. Today I'm going to take a look at the Tissot T-Touch Connect Solar. It's been a long time coming that I'm going to review the Tissot smartwatch because we've been looking forward to this for several years now. And this is a prototype version that I've been testing with Tissot, and I have to say, they did a very interesting job with this. It was about 5 years ago that I reviewed the last T-Touch, and that was called the T-Touch Expert Solar. And the Connect Solar builds upon that. Now, it's a brand new watch in all aspects. New case, new hands, new dial, new innards, new everything. But what Tissot did is they said, okay, we want the watch to do everything that the Expert Solar did, but then have the connectivity added on top of that. So they did more than that, but this is sort of the first Bluetooth connected one. And you don't actually need to use Bluetooth if you don't want to, but it makes sense so that you can have the ability to control certain features in the watch through the app, which is very, very useful, as well as to get things like notifications. The notifications work pretty well. The idea was if you get the notification on your phone, you can get on your watch. If you don't want notifications, you have to worry about it. And later on, they're going to include some interesting GPS navigational features. But for now, let's sort of talk about the watch itself. So they come in a few different versions. They're all titanium. This one is a yellow gold toned titanium. And the bezel is black ceramic. It's very important that the bezel is ceramic because there's an antenna underneath it. So metal would impede the signal, whereas ceramic does not have that effect. What does T-Touch mean? Well, in 1999, Tissot came out with a watch called the T-Touch. It was very revolutionary because it was a quartz watch, but what you did is you touched various zones on the dial to activate various features. And so the way that would work is you have to unlock it. Usually it was with this pusher. Now this upper pusher right here is the unlock button, and you hold it down, and then the hands go to this position, and then I touch various quadrants on the dial. So here's compass, for example, and now compass needs calibration. Okay, how convenient. How convenient. So now I would be calibrating it. So I'm gonna go ahead and the way you would do it is this. I actually just reconnected this watch, and so you actually have to calibrate it each time, but that's how you do it. So I'll just show you that. You can imagine that the hands turn into the compass needles. So we'll go back to that in a moment there. There's just a room full of electronics. Well, here it is, the non-calibrated compass, and you can see here how the hands reposition themselves to be the compass needle, and that you can read the degrees and the bearing right here on the screen. The screen is great because it is a full color screen. Previous versions were not full color. And I also want to mention something really important is the top part of this entire dial, it just looks like a black dial. It's actually a photovoltaic cell. And so what Tissot was able to do, especially an improvement over the Expert Solar, is develop an aesthetically pleasing photovoltaic cell which doesn't look like a photovoltaic cell. So unlike, for example, a Citizen EcoDrive, which has a filter, this has an unimpeded view of the light for maximum power generation. That was something that was very, very important for Tissot, was to have a watch, I put it into the barometer mode, was to have a watch that did not need to be charged very often. So the advertised battery life for the T-Touch Connect Solar is about 6 months. Some people have said it's even longer within the company, especially if you go outdoors a lot. It comes with a little charging dock, so there's a wireless charging dock, and you sort of sit it on there, and that allows you to charge it very quickly. But the idea is you don't have to use it very often. So if you're using GPS a lot, or if you're using a lot of the connected features, you might need to use it more often. But the idea is that for most people, charging it once every 6 months or something like that is all they'll need. That's a long time. Hopefully you've noticed how quickly the hands move. So over the years, the T-Touch hands have been moving faster and faster and faster and faster. They've also been getting, longer. And so one of the things that I think people complained about in the last generation of the T-Touches was that the hands appeared to be a little on the shorter side, and here they are quite long. So let's go to chrono mode, and we can see how that you can use the chronograph function there. So quite elegantly done. And again, this is a watch that is developed in Switzerland. A lot of the actual hardware and electronics, as well as the software, was made in Switzerland. So that makes this a very special product in the scheme of connected watches. Tissot prefers connected fine timepiece, or a fine timepiece with connected functions that people actually use. And they spent a couple of years, like I said, making all of this from the ground up as a foundation to build upon. I think that for the most part, they succeeded in creating the T-Touch experience, which is not only modernized, but also has the Bluetooth connectivity to it. They wanted to make something that was very autonomous, that didn't require battery changes or charging on a regular basis. They wanted to have something that was attractive looking and that could be very easily a daily watch without having to connect to anything. And so overall, I think Tissot did a fantastic job with the several years they spent developing the T-Touch Connect Solar. And there's going to be more things that are coming. For now, there's various versions of the watch with different colors. It comes both on this very comfortable strap as well as titanium bracelet options. And again, even though this is a 47 millimeter wide watch, pretty big, it's not heavy because of the mostly titanium construction. And it's actually quite comfortable given sort of how low and snug it fits on the wrist. You can see here that the strap actually begins very high up on the case as opposed to lower down here, which gives it a lower visual profile. And overall, as a sport watch, it looks really great. It feels good. It does a lot of good durable things, water resistant to 100 meters. And even if you don't want to connect the Tissot Connect Solar, the T-Touch Connect Solar to a smartphone, you don't need to. It actually can be fully autonomous and be a full-featured watch. The operating system requires a little bit of getting used to. This is a brand new system for Swatch, and I recommend that anyone using the T-Touch Connect Solar investigate the tutorials and read the guide, because there's certain things, for example, you can swipe down if you're in a different mode and you just want to get back to the time mode. You can swipe down just like that in order to return. That's not necessarily obvious, but one of the cool little things that you can learn about. Again, this is the Tissot T-Touch Connect Solar. Price is 975 Swiss francs, so a pretty good aggressive price, and you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.